Morning. Romans 12 verse 14 says, "Bless those who persecute you, bless and do not curse." Such a small verse, but what a big ask. Looking in my Life Application Bible, it's interesting that there's no commentary to help or decipher this verse. So I surmise that even scholars struggle to justify this expectation of us. Our natural reaction is to react how we are treated. Do to others as they would do to you. But for those who treat us shabbily, we are required to do the opposite, which in itself is empowering and noble and shows great strength of godly character. To bless is to ask God to look favourably upon someone. To put God's favour on someone is to go way beyond thinking goodwill for them. It's a higher gesture. To curse is to wish a supernatural power to inflict harm or punishment on someone. Thinking hate or revenge ultimately only hurts ourselves and our relationship with God. Holding grudges is futile. In the Bible, Joseph poured blessings on his brothers after they sold him off to slavery and were reconciled later in times of famine. Jesus asked God to forgive his persecutors, for they did not know what they were doing. This was after he had been mocked, stripped, beaten, and crucified as an innocent man for our sakes. And God certainly showed favour upon Saul on the road to Damascus, and Saul was the biggest persecutor of Christians in the New Testament until he became Paul. God will deal with persecutors as he sees fit. Leave it to him. Our modern persecution examples include bullying at work or in school, making daily life miserable, or neighbours who antagonise us unreasonably, or with broken relationships where relatives are ridiculed or cut off by others. On another level entirely, extreme persecution could be those Christians in some countries who risk their livelihoods and their lives for their faith. It could be those refugees who are provoked by senseless war, or the poor left unaided by their governments. How much more will God bless them if they give forgiveness and find forbearance and persevere against persecution in their daily lives? To bless their oppressors truly is a big ask, and they will ultimately be more blessed than we could ever measure in worldly terms. Regardless of the level of persecution, one positive result of trials is that we tend to trust God more, rely on God more, and strengthen our faith and relationship with him. Just ask those living in the top 10 persecuted countries of the world. If we give out blessings to those who don't deserve it, how much more will we be blessed by the one who matters most? It is a big ask, but we have a much bigger God. So, Lord, help us to do what Joseph, Jesus, and you did. Help us to be the bigger person. Help us to achieve the big ask in whatever situation we find persecution. For your sake, Lord. Amen.